Good morning, everyone. My name is Maishri Rhodes. I am the Trucker's accountant, helping you to navigate your way through taxes. I help trucking companies to pay the least amount of money in taxes, increase their fleet and their cash flow, all while staying in compliance with the federal, state, and state regulations. I believe that if trucking companies are properly equipped with the tax tools to tax education and tax strategies, you guys are able to scale your business and take it to the next level. So today, I'm going to talk to you guys about paying the least amount of money in taxes, even if you haven't kept track of your expenses all year. Okay, so I want to give a definition of what is keeping track of your expenses all year, because I hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, I kept all of my receipts. Let me stop you here. Can we be honest with each other? That's not keeping track. That's keeping receipts in your truck in the envelope. That's not keeping track of your expenses. So I want to tell you exactly how to keep track of your expenses, because if you are not keeping track of your expenses, I can guarantee you are not paying the least amount of money in taxes because you aren't keeping track of your expenses. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do is gather all of your income. Gather it all, and you can get your income from your bank statements, your factoring company statements, your settlement statements, your 1099s. This is where you get all of your income. So you need to go and you need to gather it all up. Okay, that's your first step. The second step is gathering all of your expenses. And that may be all of your receipts, all of your settlements. There are times where you have expenses that you've purchased it from your personal bank account. Go and get those expenses from there. This is why we are keeping track of that, because if you're keeping track of it, you will know. But I find clients that they're not keeping track of it. So now they've forgotten that they paid something out of their bank account. And then they're thinking, oh, Maishri, I'm just going to leave that be. But then when I have them go back and check it, they're like, oh, I didn't realize I spent $5,000, $6,000 out of my personal account. Absolutely. That is a business account, a business expense. We need to count it. Okay, so get all of your expenses. We got all of our income. We got all of our expenses. I'll let you know where the sources of your income can be, sources of where you can find all of your expenses. Once you get it all together, you're going to categorize it, meaning, you just don't want to look at the sheets individually. Look at each sheet, and while you're looking at it individually, you need to add up what those expenses are. So for instance, if you are you have your expenses for your comm data, go through each one of your settlements, each one of your bank accounts, each one of your statements, and pull out all of your comm data expenses. No, it may not be $4 or $5 that you paid for comm data. It could be $200, $300, $400 that you paid for comm data. So you want to make sure that you are categorizing it. So each one. So what did I pay for my maintenance? What did I pay for my utilities? What did I pay for continued education? You're going to group all of those up, and then the next step is to total them together. If you guys are out here and you're doing it on your own, okay, totaling it together. But if you're providing it to your tax professional or your accountant wants to see that in a group, not individually, because honestly, I'm gonna tell you, if you have an accountant and they now are having to count your numbers for you, because now this is tax preparation season, if they're having to count your numbers for you, that's going to be an additional cost. You have to make sure that you are totaling all your numbers up. Okay, so it's not enough to just total. It's not enough just to keep your receipts, and we're talking about that. It's not enough just to keep your receipts. Like, keeping your receipts doesn't tell you where your business is going, where your business has been. You're just like, oh, I have these receipts. That's not good enough. Okay, I'm here to tell you. I tell you guys all the time. I may say some things you do not want to hear, but it is for your best interest. And just keeping the receipts in envelopes and not totaling them up and not categorizing it is doing a disservice to yourself. One, to yourself, because you don't know where your business is or the health of your business and how to make an informed decision on how to move forward. Two, if the IRS comes and audit you, the IRS don't want to see all those receipts. Like, they want to see the receipts as proof, but you want to be able to know what you told the IRS when you told the IRS. So we spend this time to categorize everything, make sure it's nice and neat, so that if you were to get audited by the IRS, you know what you're talking about. You can go back and look back at it and like, oh yeah, I told you guys that this is X, Y, and Z. I spent this much amount of fuel. Oh yeah, I have this on my spreadsheet, or on my profit and loss statement, or on my handwritten thing. Whatever you're doing to keep track of it, keep track of it, because the last thing you want to do is get caught with your hand in a cookie jar. You guys making all this money, and then you can't produce what you need to the IRS. You can't produce what you need to your accountant. You can't produce what you need for yourself to be able to make an informed decision for your business. Okay, so I actually had a webinar that I did this weekend. I had the recording. I'm gonna put it in the, actually send me well, I'm gonna put a link in the description where you can go and check out the recording, and I break down all of the expenses, what is to you, what you can't claim, common expenses. I break down all of that in this webinar. It was an awesome webinar that we did. So I want you to go and check that out. But to recap, what are we doing? How are we spending the least amount of money in our taxes, even if we haven't kept track of our expenses all year? We're gathering our income, we're gathering our expenses, we're categorizing it, and then we're totaling it up all in one. Not one lump sum saying, oh, I got $50,000 worth of expenses. We're totaling it saying, I have this amount of money for fuel for the year. I had this amount of money that I paid for comm data. I paid this amount of money that I paid for my carrier fees for the year. So keep track of that. And the whole reason for keeping track of that is more than one. You're going to keep track of it for yourself. You're going to keep track of it for your accountant. You're going to keep track of it for the IRS. I have people who are like, oh, I'm not, I don't need an accountant. And I'm not knocking you. If you don't need an accountant, you don't need an accountant. If you're going to decide to do it for yourself, then do it for yourself. Do it. Actually sit down and do it. So this is the time of the year where you guys need to be working on your business, not in your business, driving a truck. You need to be working on your business. You got these numbers together. If you're an S Corp or a partnership, it is, how long is it? 11 days until it's due. So you need to sit down, whether you're on your reset, whether you're at home for the weekend, sit down, do your numbers, get them together, and send them over to your tax professional or your accountant. Okay? So that's it. That's it for today. I know I kind of came off harsh, but I have to tell you guys that you got to get it done right, because if you're not getting it done right, you're not paying the least amount of money in taxes, and that's doing a disservice to yourself. And we already know we don't want to pay the IRS too much money, right? So keep your money in your pocket. All right, guys. Until next time, my name is Maishree Rhodes, your tax GPS, helping you to navigate your way through taxes. Oh, wait. If you need help, I do offer free 15-minute consultations. I would love to learn more about you and your business, and if I can be a resource to you. Either I can or I can't. But yes, you can also find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at The Trucker's Accountant, where I give tax tips and tricks for you guys to pay the least amount of money in taxes and scale your business and increase your cash flow. See you guys later.